Hello, fellow Transformers. It's good to be back here on your screens. And as usual, we have our agent of transformation, Dr. Awo Boatma. You can call her I am Boatma. She's here again to share with us nuggets. We know that we have seen how we can prepare for the year ahead of us. We talked about a whole lot, planning about the year and then the things that we can do to prepare. Now, as we prepare, we should also try to seek for opportunities. And so today, Doc is here to share with us how we can find opportunities even as we prepare for the change ahead of us. Okay, good to have you here, Dr. Boatima. Good afternoon from my end here.
Good afternoon, Miss Tisha, and I'm glad to be here.
Great. Thank you for always availing yourself and then sharing with us anytime we call you here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you've already hinted me that today you are talking about opportunities, seeking for opportunities. So, what are our opportunities and why should it be important to us in our transformation journey?
Okay, thank you, Akusia. So, going back, I think for some time now, we have been talking about preparing ourselves, improving our lives. And we've
Yeah.
looked at some of the things that we can do. We've talked about not waiting for the opportunities, getting ourselves ready for the opportunities to happen. So, today, that is where we want to take it from. As we are preparing ourselves, getting ourselves ready, what next? Okay, so we don't sit and wait that big breakthrough will happen. Sometimes it happens like that with a big bang, but sometimes you have also got to be proactive. You move out there and you find it, you make it happen. So that is what we want to focus on today. All right, and zooming in terms of that, I'd want to say very often big things start small.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for that big project, I'm looking for that big breakthrough and it hasn't happened, there are ways that you can make yourself useful. And in the end, you also benefit too. So
Yeah.
I bring in the idea of volunteering. You might find a job that might not pay as much as what you are looking for. Sometimes it might not even pay at all. But then once you get in, one, you gain the experience. You
Yeah.
know, most of these things come when people are hiring, they want people with experience. Even if it's
Exactly.
your own project, if you volunteered somewhere, you handled something similar, then when you land the opportunity, you know how to go about it. So that's the good thing about those non-paying, those small things. You build a lot of experience from there. And then again, it widens your network. You never know
Yeah.
who will identify you there. Once you are there, you build connections, you build your social capital. So instead of sitting in your room waiting for that big thing to happen, if someone is out there doing those small things, they are knowing people, people are getting to know their expertise. So if the opportunity comes, they are more likely to be called on than you just sitting in your room waiting for the big thing. So we say that until that big thing that you are looking for happens, make yourself useful, give off, and it gives you some satisfaction, it gives you some joy too, knowing that you are being useful. It might not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily pay. Sometimes you use your own money to pick your car, you transport yourself there and all that. You will lose financially, but then what you gain in the end is also quite invaluable. So don't just sit and wait for it. Sometimes you also have to create the opportunities yourself. Sometimes this morning, someone was just sharing with me how, as a 15-year-old boy, he started a maize distribution business. So he says when he finished his basic school, one day he was just there. And you know, most of these things are quite capital intensive. You
Yeah.
need a huge amount of money to start the buying and selling of maize. So this was just a 15-year-old boy. He didn't have any capital. So he said one day he got up, got some sacks, and then he went to the farmers and told them that he's a maize distributor. He's got buyers in one town. So he took the maize from these farmers on credit. This was a 15-year-old boy. Took the maize on credit, got a car, transported the maize to a different town, went to sell, made profits, and then he came and paid the farmers. And that
Wow.
was how come he was able to work and buy his first car at the age of 15 without
Wow.
any capital. He just used his mind. Yes. There are many people who are way older than this boy who are sitting there complaining that they don't
That
have any capital to start any
mm,
business. You know, sometimes because he realized that people had produced the maize and they needed buyers.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And he was a boy from the community. He wasn't someone they didn't know. They knew
Yeah.
where to find him. So they knew he wasn't going to run away with their maize. So they gave
Mm-hmm.
the maize to him. He went, and then that was just how his business started. So sometimes it's just not too far away. We don't need
Yeah.
to look too far away. We just need to be creative. We just need to think outside the box. Look at
Mm,
what is available. Very often when we talk about opportunities, we look too far away. We look
exactly.
for the big hits. Yes. But it is said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So start small if you can, and you never know, you will grow. You will grow from there. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. This is great. I was thinking about, I mean, when we said we were talking about opportunities, I was thinking about how we sometimes sit down and wait for a destiny helper, like someone coming from somewhere, maybe in the skies, coming to just deliver us from the problems that we are facing. But just as you said, if we can just look around us, we could perhaps identify a place where we can be very useful and then create something from there. And so
Yeah.
that 15-year-old was very smart.
Yeah, he was. And talk of these destiny helpers. I believe in destiny helpers, they are there. But if someone comes, there should be something you are doing that the person comes to help you with. Even the Bible says that it is what we have in our hands that the Lord blesses. So if you have zero and the Lord blesses it a millionfold times zero, you still come
It's
back to zero. But if you have
exactly.
just one and he multiplies it by 10, you've got 10. Now you are no longer at one. So it's
Exactly.
good you have something, you start something than just to sit idle and wait for the opportunities to happen. And very often that is the trap that most of us find ourselves in.
Mm.
We think some of these things are below us, but you know, sometimes, like I said, doing that thing that you think is below you is where you might meet the person who will connect you to that big one you are looking for. So you never know. Never think something is below you. Once it's something, it's better than nothing. That is what I personally believe in. So as you prepare yourself, as you build yourself, yes, build the experience, build the connections by doing those things. Those ones that people might think are menial, those ones that really don't pay, but in the end, they will pay.
In the end, they will pay. This reminds me of a woman who accepted a job as a cleaner, even though, in quote, it's something that she is above, like she's above that, in quote. Now, when she started cleaning, it was there that she got, I think there was someone who was at the office and they needed someone to translate the language for them. That was
Mm,
when they realized that, oh, so this woman can actually speak English.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
it was in France. And so through that, the woman got a job in the company, but she entered the company as a cleaner. So sometimes
mm.
if we can only go a little bit above what we think what we think we deserve, we can go a
Yeah,
little bit below that and then try to have the mentality of paying it forward. Maybe at this moment, this thing
yeah,
I'm doing, it's a bit below me, or this thing I'm doing doesn't give me anything. Okay, but I am paying it forward for the future. I am getting the experiences, and as you said, I am building the network. And with
yeah.
that in the future, definitely it's going to pay off. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Doc. And so, what would be your final words on seeking opportunities in our preparation journey? Oh, I think we lost her. Doc, are you there?
Okay. Yes, I'm
Okay,
here.
she's
I can hear you.
all right.
Right. So as you were saying, what was just coming to my mind was that, you know, usually we say that for someone to make a great jump, they need to go down and then that helps them to jump very high. So for all of us, yes, getting high is our target. And that is what we've been talking about, building ourselves, preparing to get there. And I know with God's grace, we will get there. With our hard work, God will bless us and we'll get there. But sometimes think of it as making that great jump. You need to go down to gather the energy and the momentum that will propel you to that height. If you stand tall and you try jumping, you will get to a certain height, but you might not get to the greatest of heights that you could have attained. So start somewhere, start small. As we are rounding up this year and we are looking at the next year, think of where you want to be. And like I always say, break it down. If I want to be there, what will take me there? What are the steps that I need to take? What are the opportunities I can find or create to make room for that height that I want to get to? Look around and it will surprise you the kind of things that you find. For some of us, it will not be so much as just volunteering at a school. Sometimes some parents you even meet there might be the connection you need to get out of that place. So look at what you can do for free. It is not always for free. Sometimes you get something, but even if you are not earning anything, look at what you can get for free. Look at the experience you get from there and the social capital, the social network that you get from there. And then let that encourage you to keep moving. Whatever it is said that it is better to move than to be stationary. If you can't fly, you
Exactly.
run. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, you crawl. But whatever it is, make sure you are moving, you are making some progress in your life.
Wow. Thank you. So in all, remember that slow motion is better than no motion. So no matter what you are doing, just make sure that you are moving. It was great coming back here on your screens. And thank you so much, Doc, for availing yourself. And thank you so much, fellow Transformers. We hope to see you another time. Have a great one. Goodbye.
Thank you too for having me, Akusia. Bye for now.
Pleasure. Bye.